Do not give up on love. That is my main message for what I'm gonna talk about today. It's more so of a reassuring type of video for me. All my life I've always been told, eventually the right girl will come for you. And, having lived through some experiences, been through some relationships, I can proudly say that, unfortunately I have not. And that's okay. And I'm not going to assume out there, but I know I'm sorry, let me rephrase that whole sentence. But I oftentimes wonder if there are people out there who are going through the same thing as me, where they sit down and they wonder, is love even worth it? Is love even worth, giving your 100% into it at all? And, I've sat down and contemplated a lot of things, and honestly, love is amazing. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful gift. Having someone there by your side, constantly caring for you and supporting you, that's amazing. Whether it's love from your friends, your family, your co-workers, or even a significant other. But love can also come with its drawbacks, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into today. So, just a quick little story. I've been in several relationships. I'm not calling myself a hopper or anything like that, but I've been in several relationships and I've had several different experiences. So I can, pull some memories from each and every single one, and I can say, some relationships are just not cut out for you, and some are. But, with given circumstances, they're never going to work. And like I said, that's okay. But the point is to never give up on love. I've had a lot of friends, not trying to put them on blast, but they've had failed relationships and they completely let themselves go. And they say, screw this. I'm never going to pursue anyone ever again. It's not meant for me and I will never be happy. And I oftentimes tell them that's not true. It's not true whatsoever. And I'm here to tell you that too. It's not true. Love doesn't have to be with a girl or a guy that you have to meet and have to marry and have to have kids in a home with and a steady life. Love doesn't have to be that way. Love can be from a materialistic object. For example, picking up an instrument, or learning guitar, or learning piano, or simply picking up your controller and playing some video games, or your remote and putting on a TV show. Love can be from just listening to music, listening to the things that soothe you and calm you and make you feel happy and content with yourself. Love can be going out with your friends. We all have friends, and we all have people that we hold very close and, near and dear to our hearts. And the love from them can be all that we need sometimes, and not, oftentimes people don't really realize that. Going out with your friends, even if a simple call every now and then, will be helpful for yourself. Friends and family. It can be your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your best friend from high school, or your friend in college right now, or your co-worker. It doesn't matter who, as long as it's someone that has been there for you. That's love to me. Now, with the idea of love that everyone likes to fascinate over, and I fascinate over as well, is love with someone else, a significant other. And unfortunately, every relationship is going to be different, and we all subconsciously would like for certain relationships to be the same as a previous one, and unfortunately it's not going to be that way. I know that I've had my share of women who I'm not going to be painting myself as a good guy. I've had moments where I've wanted certain girls to be a certain way because of a past experience. And, having looked back on that many years ago, that was very wrong of me. And because of that, a lot of relationships didn't work out. A lot of relationships didn't really end up going the way that they should have, or the way that we wanted to. And it made me struggle a lot mentally. And I started to tell myself, is this even worth it? Like, why am I spending time caring about someone if it's just going to end up the same way? All throughout high school, I was struggling with an identity kind of crisis, because I couldn't figure out what I wanted for myself and who I was. So, I gave up on the idea of just loving someone in general, and I just wanted to mess around. So I would, those late night 3 a.m. like Snapchat quick ad sprees, or like the suggested Instagram follows, or just talk to every single girl that was in my class, and just pile up the girls on my roster. Now, looking back, that was horrible. That was the worst thing that I could have ever done to myself and to those girls. But I was so lost in the idea that love just couldn't exist for me, and I just gave up on it. I couldn't believe it, and I really genuinely couldn't. So I was like that for about a couple months. I was quite honestly a horrible person. I really, didn't like myself. I didn't like my experiences, and like I said before, I just didn't love it. I just didn't love love. And unfortunately, a lot of people had to see me go through that. My close friends and family saw that side of me that I wish kind of didn't exist. But because of the idea that love doesn't exist, it causes a shift in you. You start to give up, and you start to do things that is not the real you, but you do it because it's a form of cope. At least that was for me. And it wasn't until towards the end of my junior year when I started to realize, hey, this is not it. And I had met an amazing girl, an amazing woman. She was awesome. She was my everything. We dated throughout junior and senior year, and my first year of college as well. She was amazing. She really opened my eyes, and she basically taught me how to love. And because of her, I really did mature into the person that I am today. And because of her and my relationship with her, it allowed me to open my eyes and realize that no matter the outcome, no matter how things go or turn up, love is always going to be there. It's always going to be there, and you shouldn't give up on it. And I'm so grateful and blessed to have found her at the time, for her to revive that fire for yearning for love. Unfortunately, things didn't work out at all between me and that girl. It was a mutual thing. We are still friends and grateful for that, but I don't feel lost. I don't feel sad. Well, obviously I feel sad, but I don't feel that love doesn't exist. I don't feel in the place that I used to so many years ago. I don't feel in the place that I used to back in my junior year. Early junior year, I don't feel in that place anymore, and I feel like, hey, this is a time for me to recuperate. It's a time for me to gather my thoughts and focus on myself, make myself the best version of myself that I can be for the next person. Now, right now I'm more so on the track of self-growth. I'm not looking for anything, and I don't intend to, but that doesn't mean that I close myself off, because I've learned to come to terms with that no matter what, love is going to be there. And you shouldn't close yourself off from it, because sometimes love is what we do need. Sometimes love is something that we need. Sometimes it's the water for the seed, so that way the flower can grow. Sometimes love is the bandage that we need to cover an open wound. And it sure as heck was for me back then, and it still is for me now. Which is why, I'm working on myself, and why, that girl is working on herself as well. We actually had a conversation a couple weeks ago where she was openly telling me, like, hey, like, you shouldn't give up on love just because we didn't work out, and I told her, I was like, no, I know, I understand, and I wish the same for you, and I hope you don't follow the path of, hey, I give up on this. And we spoke about the fact that, no matter what we do, it's going to be there and it's going to pop up, and you can't avoid it. It's inevitable. Whether, like I said before, it's love from friends, family, or a significant other, you shouldn't close yourself off from it, because quite frankly, it's what we need to live. Love is a true medicine for the soul and for our personalities, and it's what we need. I kind of don't like the conception that love is something that you can throw away, because we need it. And it's like I said before, do not give up on love. Whether you just went through a rough relationship and you just got out, or you went through a toxic relationship and you just got out, or if things aren't looking so well, I'm telling you right now, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Just work on yourself. If you're in a relationship right now, don't give up on the relationship. It's still there. The spark is still there. All you guys have to do is just add a little bit more firewood or find it again. And I wish nothing but the best for everybody out there. I do not know your situations, and like I said, I wish the best for you, and should just spread the message. Do not give up on love. Thank you so much for listening.